In Mission Impossible, you're always talking about what is the stunt.
This is by far the most dangerous stunt we have in the movie.
Everything we do on a Mission Impossible movie is a challenge because it's real.
It's a terrifying stunt.
We were scouting an airfield in a remote part of New Zealand. I got in a helicopter and we flew out to this location. And as we landed, a helicopter was taking off.
We saw a helicopter pick up a payload and just kind of fly away. And McHugh looked around and said, Tom could hang from that?
I suddenly realized, oh my God, I've got the stunt. Everybody get back in the helicopter.
In our story, Tom chases after a helicopter which has got a long line load in the bottom of it.
Tom is forced to grab on and is hoisted into the air.
He'll climb the rope and actually fall.
He's going to fall 45 feet down the line, ricochet off the load, and disappear.
There are always the perceived dangers in a stunt, and then there are the real dangers.
Some of the flying we do is very high and it's really cold, -10 centigrade without the wind factor on them.
He's fighting against extreme cold, wind, and then also the air pressure, which changes as a result of being under the helicopter. It's very difficult to breathe.
So the long line, that was intense.
Tom is doing everything himself. The reason we do that is to create a much more subjective experience.
Extremely challenging to do that for real. You could do that on a green screen, fans blowing, which most films would do.
I don't care how good green screen is. I've done it 1,000 times. You can tell when it's not the real thing.
But of course, Mission Impossible fashion, we didn't. We flew a real helicopter and dropped Tom Cruise off of it.
If anything goes wrong with the helicopter, or there's a huge gust of wind going one way, it changes the whole stunt and makes it very, very dangerous.
You're dealing with the winds, the rope can twist.
Obviously, everything's spinning and moving. If something does happen, we've got an emergency plan, but it's never going to be a pretty plan. It's super physical. I mean, you're not just climbing a rope. You're climbing a rope that's traveling along at speed under a helicopter.
I have to try to climb as fast as I can up that rope. My hands were numb. I mean, it was freezing.
Check this out. That's awesome. Take that off our checklist. Now the fall. You can see Tom in the moment. He knows that he's got to drop, and the only person in charge of that is him.
My hands locked. I was holding on. I'm like, oh, just do it. Just let go.
Resisting the urge to hang on was extremely tricky. He knew, oh, this is gonna hurt. This is really gonna hurt.
And he just lets go.
They just unlock it, and it's a free fall. It's a free fall to the back.
As Tom was shooting the drop for the first time, Rebecca and I were standing on the set. You could see Tom dangling from this helicopter, and Rebecca walked up to me and said, what is he doing?
It is so goddamn high, and then you see this tiny little black dot.
And about a second later, Tom fell.
What the hell is he doing?
I find it best not to look.
And I heard myself scream. I actually thought he fell.
There was an audible gasp from the crowd.
We heard on the radio, I think we just lost Tom.
That's a huge drop.
I mean, he impacted that load hard.
Probably hurt quite a bit. It's a pretty big blow.
You know it's going to be an impact. Really knocks the wind out of me.
They were watching on the monitors, and the whole tent was just, oh, he's broken his back.
I thought you'd do it once or twice. They did it 4 or 5 times, which was extraordinary.
Those takes, you don't do many of them. You do it until you get it, and then you're like, please, let's move on.
It's so exciting to see an actor want to partake in all of these things, and rare to have an action sequence be authentic.
I really trust Wade, and I trust the team. They set it up beautifully. I admire the skill and talent of those guys, because you look at the things that have to come into play. They did really an amazing job. Really well done.
Yeah,
everyone, the whole team.
Yeah,
You guys
did a great job.
Look at that. You just see the close-up. Look at that.
You did an average job too, though.
Yeah, average.
It's pretty average.
That's all I want. As long as I just average.
Consistently
Just,
average.
I don't mind.
Judges team, Jeremy, guys. Great job.
One of those mission moments.
It was quite an extraordinary moment to watch a human being hanging off a helicopter,
I have to breathe a sigh of relief every time Tom comes back safely.
apart from the fact it looks insane. But the sheer mental effort it takes and the physical effort is enormous.
I'm sort of used to doing this with Tom now, so it all becomes old hat. But then watching him do it, it got me in the gut. So I knew it was working.
This stunt has proved to the extreme level that you can do almost anything.
It's very rare to picture something in your head and then see it come out exactly the way you saw it. This stunt did it. This stunt went beyond.
It seems impossible, but that's what we like doing these movies.
Well done, yeah, it's fantastic.
If you get the right people, the best in the world, you can do it.